welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 22nd of July in the year 2026. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. NRPUP and ZMA warn fuel firms of sanctions over measurement violations. 2 ZANACO ATM custodians held over alleged 1 million kwacha theft in LUNDAZI. ECZ lifts suspension on NRPUP campaigns in KAPUTA after peace returns. In international news, French lawmakers approve social media ban for children under 15. In sports, CRISTOFORETTI pleased with Zambia's win over Tanzania. Join us for these and many more stories after the break.
Voting is one of the few moments where we all have a voice.
One person, one vote.
No titles, no status.
Just a choice.
It's not about doing nothing.
It's about showing up.
Because your vote matters.
It's easy.
It's important.
It's ours.
Count me in.
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 For decades, Zambia has searched for its promise. Through triumph, sacrifice, and difficult seasons, many promised change. Many spoke of hope, but the burden remained heavy. And then, a servant of the people stepped forward. Not perfect, not a magician, but a man willing to lead his people through the wilderness toward a better Zambia. Like Moses leading his people toward the promised land. The journey was never meant to be easy, because nations are not built overnight. They are built through faith, sacrifice, and perseverance. The work is not finished, but Zambia is moving forward.
On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar Channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. The Energy Regulation Board, NRPUP, and the Zambia Meteorology Agency, ZMA, have warned petroleum industry players that they risk regulatory sanctions if they fail to comply with revised fuel measurement guidelines aimed at eliminating disputes over fuel losses during storage and transportation. In a joint statement issued on Wednesday, the two regulators said the guidelines for the application of storage and in-transit losses were developed in consultation with industry stakeholders to improve transparency, accountability, and consistency in the measurement of petroleum products across the supply chain. The guidelines are also intended to protect consumers, transporters, and petroleum marketers from unjustified quantity disputes. The NRPUP and ZMA said the reforms follow the introduction of mandatory calibrated dipsticks and certified dip charts in February 2026 by the Zambia Meteorology Agency. In June, the NRPUP directed all licensed petroleum industry participants to fully implement the guidelines, including using calibrated measuring equipment at loading and offloading depots and replacing the automatic deduction of penalties with a transparent verification and dispute resolution process. However, the regulators said they continue to receive reports of non-compliance, including failure by some oil marketing companies to use bulk flow meters as the primary measuring instrument, disregard for the prescribed dispute resolution process, and overloading petroleum tanker compartments beyond their calibrated capacities. They warn that these practices undermine measurement accuracy and contribute to fuel quantity disputes.
The guidelines establish a harmonized framework for determining legitimate storage and in-transit losses while safeguarding consumers, transporters, and petroleum marketers against unjustified quantity disputes. In February 2026, the Zambia Metrology Agency, as the national authority responsible for legal metrology, introduced the mandatory use of calibrated dipsticks and certified dip charts to improve the accuracy, traceability, and integrity of petroleum product measurements. Subsequently, on 3rd June 2026, the Energy Regulation Board issued a circular directing all licensed industry participants to fully implement the guidelines on storage and in-transit losses. The circular included, among other requirements, the use of dipsticks and dip charts at both loading and offloading depots as part of product quantification. The circular further discontinued the practice of automatic deductions of penalties without verification and established a transparent verification and dispute resolution process based on jointly verified measurements. Notwithstanding these regulatory interventions, the ERB and ZMA have continued to receive reports of operational challenges affecting the consistent implementation of the guidelines. Industry stakeholders are reminded, therefore, that compliance with regulatory directives is mandatory. Any person or entity found to be in contravention of the applicable laws, license conditions, regulatory directives, or approved guidelines may be subject to appropriate enforcement action, including administrative, regulatory, or legal sanctions. The ERB and ZMA wish to assure members of the public that the availability, safety, and integrity of petroleum products remains a regulatory priority.
Police in Lundazi district have detained 2 ZANACO ATM custodians over the alleged theft of more than 1 million in what investigators are treating as a theft by servant case. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba said the suspects, identified as Melinda Longwa, age 42, and Jesse Piri, age 29, were arrested after a routine cash verification at the ZANACO Lundazi branch uncovered a discrepancy of 1 million kwacha. Mr. Mwemba said the irregularity was discovered yesterday when branch manager McDonald Milambo Mutambwa conducted a surprise cash check before handing the 2 custodians 1.6 million kwacha to replenish the bank's automated teller machines, ATMs. He said the snap audit revealed that the cash balances in both ATMs did not match the expected amounts, prompting a detailed reconciliation by ZANACO ATM operations specialists from the bank's head office. When questioned, the 2 custodians reportedly told investigators that they had mistakenly swapped ATM cash cassettes on an unknown date, loading 100 kwacha notes into a cassette designated for 500 kwacha notes. According to Mr. Mwemba, the suspects claimed the error allowed customers to withdraw more cash than intended, but admitted they did not report the incident because they feared losing their jobs. Police have since detained the 2 suspects as investigations continue to establish the circumstances surrounding the missing funds and determine whether the discrepancy resulted from negligence or criminal conduct. Moving on in the news, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has lifted the suspension of campaign activities for National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity, NRPUP, in KAPUTA constituency following the restoration of peace in the area. The Commission announced that the suspension had been removed with immediate effect after receiving confirmation from the Zambia Police Service that the political situation in KAPUTA had normalized. ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro said the decision followed efforts by the police, political party leaders, stakeholders, and members of the public to restore peace and order in the constituency. The electoral body has since urged all political parties, candidates, and supporters to conduct peaceful campaigns and adhere to the Electoral Code of Conduct and other electoral laws. ECZ warned that it would continue monitoring campaign activities across the country and would take action against any political party or candidate involved in violence or conduct that threatens the integrity of the electoral process. The Commission has further called on all stakeholders to ensure that the remaining campaign period allows voters to exercise their democratic rights freely and without fear. Democratic Union President Akim Anthony Njovu has urged Zambians to elect new leaders in the August 13, 2026 general election, arguing that the country needs a complete change in political leadership to achieve meaningful development. Speaking on the country's political direction, Mr. Njovu said he is concerned that Zambia risks stagnating if voters continue electing the same leaders. Mr. Njovu also criticized what he described as a lack of moral leadership among politicians. He claimed that allegations of misconduct continue to emerge despite previous promises by those in power to fight corruption. He referred to reports circulating on social media alleging that some ruling United Party for National Development UPND members had obtained milli-meal from the Zambia National Service ZNS without paying for it, saying the claims mirrored accusations that were previously leveled against the Patriotic Front PF while it was in government. He appealed to voters to choose leaders who would transform the country politically, economically, socially, and spiritually. Mr. Njovu's remarks come as political parties intensify campaigns ahead of the August 13 general election, with development, governance, and accountability remaining key issues in the race for public office.
As President of the Democratic Union, I am worried that this country will not see any development if the Zambians will not elect a new leader on the 13th of August 2026. We know that the UPND told us that the PF were selling air and stealing money. But this time around, we've seen on social media where UPND members were getting milli-meal from ZNS without paying for it. So we have the same situation, and this makes me worried. I'm worried it seems there's no morality with politicians. So I'd like to make a special appeal to the Zambians that they need to elect a new leader. If this country has to see real development, if this country has to be set, like I've stated before, politically, economically, socially, as well as spiritually, we need a total reset in this country if we have to see development. But if we keep on getting the same leaders in government, then this country is going nowhere.
We now take a break, but join us for more news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
It's morning again in Zambia. Today, millions of our children will go to school more than ever before in the history of our country, because free education is opening doors that were once closed. Today, with over 40 million kwacha to spend, communities will build clinics, improve schools, drill boreholes, and transform lives using the increased CDF. Men and women will walk through markets and stations freely, without fear or intimidation from cadres. But the journey is not over, and we still have more work to do.
We
We've started the change. Now let's finish the job. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let us continue to move Zambia forward together.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
In every celebration, there's a simple choice being made. To belong, count me in. In moments of love and promises for tomorrow, count me in. At the checkout line, in the middle of an ordinary day, a reminder that every number matters. Count me in. Across our communities, our streets, the same message finds us. Count me in. From the everyday worker to the hands shaping our future every day, the call is the same. Count me in. Around the traditions that bring us together, the message becomes impossible to ignore. Count me in.
This election season, your vote counts. Get your NRC and voters card ready.
Count me in.
Welcome back to the Camnet News Desk. We continue with the news. The National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity, NRPUP, has defended its presidential candidate, Brian Mundubile, against criticism from Socialist Party President Fred Membe, insisting that his development record in Northern Province speaks for itself. In a statement, NRPUP National Chairman for Information and Publicity, Elias Kamanga, described Dr. Membe's remarks questioning Mr. Mundubile's leadership credentials as misinformed and lacking an appreciation of the development projects implemented during his tenure as Northern Province Minister. Mr. Kamanga, who said he served as Permanent Secretary under Mr. Mundubile, argued that several landmark infrastructure and investment projects in Northern Province were initiated or advanced under the former minister's leadership. He cited the construction of Kasama Airport, saying the project was more than 90% complete by the time Mr. Mundubile left office. He also credited him with overseeing the transformation of the former Samora Machel military base into a modern civilian airport. Mr. Kamanga further attributed the construction of secondary schools and health facilities across the province, the establishment of 2 Zafiko plantation projects, and the creation of the 100,000 hectare Kalungwishi farm block to Mr. Mundubile's leadership. Bangwaulu UPND parliamentary candidate Happy Mampa has described President Hakainde Hichilema's recent campaign visit to Luapula province as a major morale booster, saying the ruling party is on course for victory in the August 13 general election. Mr. Mampa thanked President Hichilema for addressing what he called a mammoth rally in Samfya on Sunday, adding that the visit had energized party structures and supporters across the province. Speaking to the media, Mr. Mampa expressed confidence that the UPND would secure decisive victories in the presidential, parliamentary, council chairperson and councillor elections. He attributed the party's optimism to what he described as President Hichilema's performance during his 4 years and 10 months in office. Mr. Mampa said the opposition would face a rude shock on August 13 because it had failed to provide credible alternatives to the government's programs and achievements. He cited free education, expanded Constituency Development Fund, CDF, sustainable energy initiatives, job creation, debt restructuring, Kwacha stability, and the expansion of social cash transfer program as key achievements that have earned the UPND public support.
People are confident and they are very appreciative that the president means well and he would deliver more once he's given the second term. The opposition here, they have really failed to provide alternative solutions. What are they going to replace with free education? What is the alternative to feeding program? What is the alternative to debt restructuring? What is the alternative to the energy solution? You have seen stability of power. What is the solution to CDF 40 million? And the president wants to increase CDF again so that people can make decisions locally and sort out their problems. So for me, I can confidently tell you that Bangweulu seat is already in the basket and the presidential votes are secured. So now, if president will win big in Wapra province, where will the opposition garner the votes? Because this used to be their stronghold. It used to be their strong, but now they used to call it their bedroom. Now we are making babies in their bedroom. And I can tell you that people should be glued to TV and other media channels on the 13th of August, because the results that will be coming from the Northern Circuit, Luapura, Sanfia in particular, will really shock the nation.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has adjourned for the third time the case involving former Intelligence Director General Xavier Chungu after the state told the court it was still awaiting instructions from the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, on whether to commit the matter to the High Court. State Prosecutor Samuel Zulu informed Chief Resident Magistrate Tandose Chabala that DPP Gilbert Piri had not yet issued the necessary instructions or a certificate of committal required for the case to proceed to trial in the High Court. Mr. Zulu told the court that he had contacted his superiors earlier in the day but had not received a definitive response. In light of the state's submission that the required instructions could be issued by tomorrow, Magistrate Chabala adjourned the matter to allow the prosecution more time. Mr. Chungu faces 11 counts of seditious practices and publication or disclosure of information to unauthorized persons. The charges stem from remarks he allegedly made during an interview on that Z podcast. Prosecutors allege that he disclosed information obtained through his former role as Director General of the Intelligence Service without the written consent of the President or an authorized representative, contrary to the law governing classified information. Mr. Chungu has remained in custody since his arrest on May 28, 2026. Both the subordinate court and the High Court previously declined to grant him bail on June 12 and July 14, respectively, after ruling that they lacked jurisdiction in light of a certificate. Speaking in an interview with National Agricultural Information Service shortly before the commissioning of Phase 2 of the 100 megawatts Samba solar plant. Details from Nais in this report.
The Food Reserve Agency has for some time now been deemed as the most trusted buyer of grain. For this crop marketing season, the agency is yet to open the doors for farmers to sell their produce. Tradition leaders have called on farmers to remain patient and wait for the agency to commence buying.
We have received adequate information and reliable information from FRA that the moisture content is still quite high at the moment, and as you may be aware, FRA keeps the food reserves over a long period of time, and these are the reserves that can save the people, okay, over a long period of time. So the Food Reserve Agency is quite careful in buying. So I would like to urge my people to be a little patient.
Mwalichulire imyenshingi okulima so ekirefu aikwateeka n'emitima obuteeko n'abumirayo okwebati bwala mishita ndibulепекania okumishita omutengo uwemesana and government ayamata baleshita n'abamu n'efire isa kuntansha ati kwala abadrought so baleshita ifire ofyakwebati basunge.
Senior Chief Mboloma of the Lala-speaking people of Rwano district in Central Province has called on government to consider announcing the floor price in time.
My humble appeal to the government through the FRA is to announce the price for maize so that our able farmers can make a budget and also look for the good market through the government, which always provide.
Meanwhile, Central Province Agricultural Coordinator Etambuyu Anamila is proud that her province performed well in last year's crop production period. Ms. Anamila remains optimistic that the presidential directive of producing 10 million metric tons of maize will be achieved.
We topped up the list for more than 10 major crops. We were coming number one. And also not just number one, but the percentage in terms of contribution. Because for maize alone, we contributed 21.39% to the national output. With a number of trainings that we are having in Central Province on climate smart agriculture, we are hopeful that within the area that we are planting maize currently, we are able to double the production actually.
Helen Witty reporting from Chisamba, Central Zambia.
And that particular story takes us to our final set of commercials, but do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms, Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Balini Boss. Before 2022, millions of Zambian children stayed home because school was unaffordable for many families. Today, things are much better. No more tuition fees, no more PTA fees, and no more examination fees. More than 2.5 million children are back in class across the country. Schools are feeding our children and classrooms are full again. And with the enhanced Constituency Development Fund, more classrooms are being built, more desks are being made, more teachers are being hired. Because Bali cares. He has delivered this for all children across Zambia. Because free education is not just a policy. It is a promise to every Zambian child, a promise that poverty will not decide their future. A promise delivered. On the 13th of August 2026, vote for Hakainde Hichilema as President of the Republic of Zambia. And let's continue to move Zambia forward together.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, downlights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Voting is one of the few moments where we all have a voice.
One person, one vote.
No titles, no status.
Just a choice.
It's not about doing nothing.
It's about showing up.
Because your vote matters.
It's easy.
It's important.
It's ours. Count me in.
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 Count me in. Voting is one of the few moments.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. And now in international news. France has become the first European Union country to approve a sweeping social media ban for children under the age of 15. It joins an increasing number of countries taking steps to restrict access amid growing concerns worldwide over the harmful effects of digital content on youngsters. Lawmakers passed a bill by 279 to 81 votes on Tuesday, with one party saying it will be impossible to enforce. The bill also bans the use of mobile phones in high schools. While children's advocates and parents have applauded the vote, it is likely to face legal challenges from opponents to determine if the bill complies with the French Constitution. Under the measure, children younger than 15 will not be allowed to open a social media account from September, and age verification will be required on all new accounts. Platforms will have another 4 months to close accounts that are already open. The legislation is one of the final major measures adopted under French President Emmanuel Macron before he leaves office next year. Here's a roundup of international stories courtesy of Africa News.
France has become the first European Union country to approve a sweeping social media ban for children under the age of 15. It joins an increasing number of countries taking steps to restrict access amid growing concerns worldwide over the harmful effects of digital content on youngsters. Lawmakers passed the bill by 279 to 81 votes on Tuesday, with one party saying it'll be impossible to enforce. This law's not only hypocritical, it's dangerous. You know that these measures will be circumvented and that they're inapplicable. It's an excuse to impose more control by the European Union on internet freedom and to claim that you're doing something about the GAFAM when they're the ones twisting your arms. While children's advocates and parents have applauded the vote, it's likely to face legal challenges to determine if the bill complies with the French Constitution. Under the measure, children younger than 15 will not be allowed to open a social media account from September.
Ethiopia's opposition People's Revolutionary Party has accused the federal government of pushing the northern Tigray region towards a new war. The EPRP says Addis Ababa is waging a propaganda campaign to psychologically prepare public opinion for conflict. Last weekend, Addis Ababa organised a demonstration to denounce forced conscription by Tigray's People's Liberation Front. Human Rights Watch has accused Tigrayan authorities of abducting and unlawfully recruiting civilians, including children as young as 15. The TPLF has denied any forced conscription, but on Sunday the group's head urged the people of Tigray to restore their honour by preparing to defend the region's sovereignty. In 2020, Tigray fought a brutal 2-year civil war against the central government that killed tens of thousands of people and displaced millions.
The US military said it completed the 11th night of strike on Iran early Wednesday as attacks across Middle East overshadowed diplomatic efforts in Pakistan to salvage an interim ceasefire deal that has collapsed. The US Central Command said targets included aircraft hangars and drone storage sites. The newest barrage came after President Donald Trump telegraphed that strikes will be intensifying. Before the latest strike, Iranian Interior Minister Eskander Momeni visited Pakistan, a key mediator in the conflict, seeking to revamp diplomacy. But it was unclear what new arrangement might be reached to end the war, which lately has become a battle for control over the Strait of Hormuz, a waterway vital to world energy supplies. Speaking from the Oval Office on Tuesday, Trump gave a dim view on possible talks, saying the U.S. had no interest in meeting. He signaled that U.S. forces could soon target an area of Iran close to one of its main sites for enriching uranium.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Zambia futsal national team coach Andre CRISTOFORETTI says his side's convincing victory over Tanzania provided the perfect opportunity to assess his squad as preparations for the 2026 Futsal Africa Cup of Nations gather momentum. Speaking after Zambia's win over Tanzania in an international friendly in Lusaka, CRISTOFORETTI said the technical bench deliberately gave valuable minutes to players who have featured less in recent matches. The Italian coach praised his team's intensity and ability to create scoring opportunities, but admitted there is still room for improvement, particularly in attack. CRISTOFORETTI said the friendly also tested Zambia against physical opponents, giving the players valuable experience ahead of continental competition. Looking ahead to the Futsal AFCON in Morocco, CRISTOFORETTI said the team's objective is to improve on its previous campaign by reaching at least the semi-finals. Zambia will continue its preparations with further training sessions as CRISTOFORETTI looks to refine his squad before the continental tournament.
The guy is confirmed to be also playing 2 games in 3 days. It's not easy. We also looked and asked to have a good intensity. And then at one point, Tanzania started coming, pressuring a little bit more, being a little bit more physical, which is normal in our game. And I think we also handled that pretty well. So overall, we're pretty happy. Now we're looking at the areas and the details which we need to improve for Africa Cup, and after the break we're going to start working, regrouping and developing the team. Africa Cup is a very difficult competition, If it's true that our goal is to reach the semi-finals, at least to do it better than the previous edition, we need to definitely have, as first thing, a very good physical condition, because in 5-6 days you play 3 games and you play with very experienced team, very physical teams. You know, if you get Morocco, if you get Libya, if you get Egypt, if you get Angola, and so the work that needs to be put in place is, we got a good base, I would say, but now we need to define a little bit more some details in the attacking system and in the defense. But in principle, we are pretty happy.
And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, we take a recap of stories that made headlines. ERB and ZMA warn few firms of sanctions over measurement violations. 2 ZANACO ATM custodians held over alleged 1 million kwacha theft in Lundazi. ECZ lifts suspension on NRPUP campaigns in KAPUTA after peace returns. In international news, French lawmakers approve social media ban for children under 15. In sports, CRISTOFORETTI pleased with Zambia's win over Tanzania. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. It reads, "But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus." That ends our Bible reading, and that concludes this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, be reminded, like always, that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. Good evening and God bless.